I'm all packed, ready to go, and the flight is tonight. For the past few days, there's been a lot of anxiousness in my heart about returning to Penn, and I've been trying to think it through. I know why it's there, but today is my last day at home. I fly out tonight, and I've just been trying to burn time today so I don't overthink it. And I thought, what better way to spend the rest of today than recapping this entire summer and finding closure. I actually didn't vlog a lot this summer because I spent a lot of time in recovery from college of just, I needed to be alone. I just needed time to reflect. And also you'll soon see that the summer didn't have too much exciting stuff going on. So with that, here is my summer 2019 as told through my camera roll. I wrapped up my freshman year on May 9th, flew home 3 days later. I packed my bags and moved to UC Berkeley, where I began my internship on May 14th, I think. A very fast transition. I got so bored on my first 3 days of summer that it was good just to quickly get into work. What my weeks typically looked like was that I would be up in Berkeley/Oakland Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursdays I would BART home and spend Friday working at home and the weekend with friends. And it was a really great schedule, and I really value it because I had time to be alone. I had my own place at Berkeley, yet also time to be at home with friends and family. And it was just, as I said, like a perfect balance of the two. And without getting too much into it, I learned so much at my internship. I absolutely loved being able to work with my coworkers, being able to be in a professional environment where I really could depend on the people around me to get work done, and working on projects together was so much fun. I had the opportunity to shadow hospital workers, even a senior hospital consultant, which was like the coolest thing ever. And the most exciting part of my internship was being able to present to our CIO in a team of 5 people about modernizing our infrastructure. And it was just so much fun preparing for the presentation. And it's a long journey, but you know, at the end, it's all worth it. I think the most striking thing from my internship was being able to fully invest myself in the job. With school, you typically juggle like 5 to 6 things, whether it's like classes, your health, your friends, your relationship, family. And it's really hard. High school, I think, is even harder than college. But with work, it was so nice that for the 8 hours you go into the office, you just work really hard on that project or that task, and then you close your laptop and call it a day, and you don't think about it until you come back. So I just really love that environment. It was just something very different from college, and I just really valued having that change for 3 months in the summer. But another important lesson I also took away from this internship is that really easily, work can become your entire life if you let it. So it's definitely about still finding that balance for what's important and meaningful to you, and not letting work consume you, but having things to do afterwards, and also making time for the gym, for health, all those fun things. I interned for 14 weeks, so I didn't really have a lot of time of like true summer, I guess, but it was just enough. And then I had 1 week off at the end, and this week was this past week, so it was a lot of fun. And overall, the internship kept me busy. I learned a lot, and I loved what I was able to do, so I'm so thankful I was able to do that this summer, and the people I worked with. Now, let's go into living at UC Berkeley. So after being at Penn for a year, this was a drastic change. I could finally compare different college campuses, the vibes, what is important in both of them. A lot of my high school friends actually go to Berkeley, and I had the opportunity to partake in a fellowship during the summer, so I got to know a lot of Berkeley kids. And here's the shock. I felt so at home, and I know it's crazy saying that, but everyone for the most part, you know, thought like me, came from similar backgrounds, demographically looked like me. And I think it made me realize that if I were to live a second life, I could go to UC Berkeley and absolutely thrive. It's kind of weird saying that, but I could totally see myself fitting in there, and it kind of hit me, and I was like, okay, that's why I'm not here, because it's too comfortable. It's just too similar to home. And I think it was a really important perspective to have, because first year at Penn, I really struggled a lot. I was like, man, the weather here, you know, it's not what I'm used to. The food is not what I'm used to. People just think differently. And I think it's just a striking change. Like West Coast versus East Coast, the college experience is so different. Neither is necessarily better, but I'm just so thankful this summer that I got to see that the struggles that I face in Penn, you know, it's there to help me grow. It's there for a reason. And if I were to be at Berkeley, I think I would be a completely different person, and things might be a little bit easier transition-wise. So for that extent, I'm very thankful for the challenges I'm going to be facing for the next 4 years at Penn. overall though, I just loved how at Berkeley, you know, people were still stressed about school, academics. They were there taking classes for the summer, but they were also so passionate about their extracurriculars and organizations. And it was just something a little different from Penn. I don't know, there's just like a different vibe. But that was my Berkeley experience. I'm very glad I got to experience 2 different types of colleges, and I absolutely loved it. They have the best food, literally, like everywhere. And I really hope another summer I will be able to do something similar as well. Short point, but I took a 4-day vacation to Hawaii. This was like my travel this summer, and I learned that vacation is nice, but it's not for me. It's not really relaxing. I don't know, yeah, I expect a vacation in Hawaii to be like, you sit on a beach and you chill. Totally was not that. It was very exhausting and tiring. So I learned I prefer staycations with friends and family and the nice dry heat in California rather than humidity. But I was thankful for the time to spend with family. And I also bought a watermelon uke because I couldn't resist, and it kind of looks like a watermelon or avocado. But that's irrelevant. Second short point, I celebrated my 19th birthday. I ate too much cake, and I was reminded how I have family and friends at home, but also family and friends at my home away from home at Penn. And it was just cool to see the 2 worlds collide on that day and being able to talk to people from both sides. Now here's the big one, or the highlight of my summer. I learned what home meant to me. Because as soon as I got back on weekends, it was a flurry of hanging out with high school friends, with church friends, and these hangouts were different now. Because in high school, these are people who know you for 4 to 7 years. In college, as a freshman, it's only 1 year. So there's this comfort, this like normalcy of just being around people from home and just being able to be myself. I think that's the thing, like they get me. And I know by the end of my 4 years of college, like people will get you too, you know, but it just felt so normal. I love being able to celebrate graduation with my senior friends who just graduated and now they're flying off to colleges. And being able to have weekly adventures with my church friends every Sunday after church. And it's just different now because you know you don't have time together. Like winter break and summer, you just take every opportunity you can to spend with one another. And as a result, it was just really special and I loved it a lot. We did so many great things, and I think this part is just gonna be littered with photos. I was just so thankful to be able to maintain these relationships, you know, and I know now, you know, that these are going to be lifelong friendships. You know, distance doesn't mean anything when we're together. But yeah, there's this fear in my heart that next summer we're not all going to be together, and I know that that's likely to be a reality. So I want to cherish the time together while we still have it. And here's the final point I wanted to share. During freshman year, I entertained the thought of moving to New York after college to work for a few years, or Texas, or somewhere new. But this summer, my internship taught me one important thing, and it's that a lot of the times work will determine where you live. But to go somewhere where you don't know anyone, it's not only scary, but it's also incredibly lonely. And that's why I think for me, I truly value my family and friends. And my family, friends, church are home, and that's what matters to me most. And I don't know if this is closed-minded or not, but I really just want to take everything I learned in college and bring it home to give back to my community, to my family, friends, my church. So home means a lot to me now. It's not somewhere, you know, where I feel like I don't belong anymore, because I think this summer made me feel like I have even a greater role to play here. So yeah, I'm very thankful for the past 3 months just being at home, being in the comforts of my house, with family and friends. And I think I'm not scared or sad to go back to Penn, but I'm even sadder to leave home. So that's where I realize where I'm at. It's just saying goodbye and wrapping up this summer. But I printed out all my summer photos and I'm gonna put them on my wall to remind me of the people back home cheering me on. But yeah. So now that I've gotten sappy about home, tomorrow I'm leaving and I won't be coming back for 4 months until Christmas. But I'm ready. I learned a lot this summer and it was a really great break from the intensity of college. But I watched my college vlogs and I saw how much fun I had first semester and second semester and how much I learned, and I'm ready for the next big challenge. So sophomore year, let's do this.